welcome back to my channel. I am Sasha with Musings of a Final Girl, and today I am sharing a book review of House of Hollow. This is one that I have seen on Bookstagram left and right, and I've seen on Goodreads. I've seen a lot of other lovers of horror adding this to their TBR list. So I was very curious, and when I found a copy of it at my local Walmart, I of course snatched it up in a heartbeat because I had to know what the hype was about. And I have to say, this book for me did not disappoint. It falls under quite a few genres, honestly. I would say that there's a thriller aspect to it, there's a fantasy aspect to it, there's even a bit of horror aspect to it, which really surprised me for the book. It's about these three sisters, and one of them ends up going missing, and the other two have to hunt her down and find her. And it leads to this whole big crazy thing. Like, there were so many little twists and turns in this that I absolutely loved it. There was humor. The humor was absolutely wonderful. I love the way the characters are written. They feel very real. I kind of felt myself connecting with each of the three sisters on some level. You've got one who's decked out in tattoos and is in a rock and roll band. She's a bit vulgar at times, but she's absolutely hilarious. She probably has like the biggest humor aspect of this book that I absolutely loved. There were so many times I bust out laughing that my husband had to ask me what was so funny. The youngest of the sisters, her name is Iris. She was also really well. She's a very empathetic character. The older sister was very into the occult, and it adds its own little flavor to her as a character. There wasn't anything about this that I didn't like. This was honestly one that I'm gonna rave about a little bit. I'm gonna kind of go off on a tangent here in a minute and just talk about how much I loved it. Like I said, the humor was there. The middle sister, Vivi, that's where a lot of the humor came in. She's a very sarcastic character, and I absolutely loved her. She's probably my favorite out of the three, if I'm being honest. She was an absolute riot to read about. Um, the so the older sister, Gray, is the one that ends up going missing, and I'm not going to give much more than that. I really think this is one that you need to go out, buy, and read. It had a slight body horror aspect to it, with literal flowers growing out of people's skin and just other really good moments. I'm trying to think of one. I think I bookmarked it that I really liked. Let me check. So I didn't exactly find a good part, but there's a line that I really, really liked in this. And I'm gonna go ahead and share it here. There are three little girls in a grave wearing necklaces with our names on them. What if, in the story Gray tells about what happens to us, we are not the three little girls? I said. I met Tyler's eyes. What if we are the monsters? I absolutely love that line. Just the whole delivery of it is just so good. It was, ugh. This was just, it was a great book. I loved this book. It, it I don't think there's a reader out there that won't find something they really enjoy about this. The horror is there, which kind of surprised me because I consider this more of like a YA book, and I guess it's still, I wouldn't even consider this a YA book. I don't know what genre specifically I would put this book under. I'm creating my own genre, you absolutely need to read it genre, and that's where I'm gonna put this book because it was so good. I absolutely loved it, and I know I've said that like probably 6 times in this video now, but you need to go read it. The little surprise twists toward the ending were absolutely wonderful, and I was really shocked. Looking back, there's some foreshadowing that I probably could have figured them out sooner, but I was just so wrapped up in the storytelling that I wasn't looking ahead to try to figure out. I wasn't putting too much thought into, oh, I already know who this is about. Like, I like when it's telegraphed, but it's not, because you're so wrapped up in the style of writing that you're really immersed in the story. That's how I felt with this. It was just really good. I absolutely loved it. Go buy it. Go read it. If you have read it, let me know in the comments what your thoughts about it were. This is my channel, so I'm still gonna classify it under horror and give it one of my stab ratings, and this was a 5 out of 5 for me. Absolutely, hands down. Loved it, loved it, loved it. So if you have read this, let me know what you thought in the comments below. I will probably go ahead and include a link or two to for you to go find this book if you're looking for it. So yeah, just read it. I can't say much more than that. I'm getting awkward about it now, but read it. I hope you all are having a wonderful weekend, and as always, happy reading.